Struck in a Glitch, novel as an extra, is a chaotic fantasy isekai where the MC, 𝘽𝙚, gets thrown into the notoriously messy world of a web novel he once read, except he is not the hero, just a total background nobody. The twist? This world is full of wild plot twists, OP monsters, and yandere heroines. But 𝘽𝙚 gets some game-changing allies, a googly-eyed monster named Adi, and a cursed sword Diablo. The story is fast-paced and packed with unpredictable events, and MC's struggle to survive as an extra is both funny and tense. If you like meta isekai with game elements, weird companions, and a protagonist who is OP, then this is a fun read. Number 9. From Goblin to Goblin God. Oh boy, you are in for a wild ride with this one. Imagine being reborn as a lowly goblin, the weakest of all magical creatures. That's exactly what happens to 𝘽𝙚. But this, our MC, has a secret. He's got the blessings of the gods, and the more kids he has, the stronger he becomes. So our guy Lin sets off to build his own goblin empire. The artwork is seriously eye candy, and the characters, well, they are totally oddballs, but in the best way possible. It's like a non-stop roller coaster of goblin shenanigans from start to finish.
Demon Lord's Martial Arts Ascension. In this manhwa, Demon Lord's Martial Arts Ascension, ordinary college student 𝘽𝙚 Minchell stumbles upon an artifact that restores his memories of being the Demon King who brought the world to its knees in a past life, reawakening his old demonic powers as well as new abilities, setting him on an epic journey to harness both good and evil forces as he grinds in dungeons, levels up, and becomes an unstoppable juggernaut trying to maintain peace between realms in a fantasy world with massive world building, many races, and jaw-dropping fight scenes where the quickly overpowered MC demolishes everything in his path, making for a must-read power fantasy story that starts a bit classic but transforms into an addictive tale of underdog regaining his status as the ultimate badass.
Ideal player returns as a god. The world is overrun by monsters and humanity is in chaos. But don't worry, our hero has been sleeping for 1,000,000 years. When the first king of the Dragon Kingdom wakes up, he's got a treasure trove of resources just waiting to be used. Armed with his epic idleness, he is ready to take on the toughest bosses that make even the strongest class shifters quiver in fear. With hilarious moments and jaw-dropping battles, this manhwa is a wild mix of comedy and action. If you love stories about lazy heroes becoming unstoppable gods, this hidden gem will have you laughing and cheering for more. Lord of Summoning. Imagine waking up to the end of the world, monsters tearing through cities, reality breaking apart, and humanity on its knees. That's the nightmare our protagonist lived through, until he gets a second chance. Time rewinds, the apocalypse resets, and this time he remembers everything. Armed with knowledge of the coming catastrophe and a powerful summoning ability, he starts building his forces before the world even knows it's doomed. He's not just surviving this time, he's preparing for revenge. So, if you love apocalyptic twist, summoner power-ups, and protagonists who play the long game, then Lord of Summoning delivers big time. Top tier Providence, secretly Cultivator. When Hanzu is reborn into Cultivation World, he quickly realizes he has an amazing cheat, the ability to roll the dice and re-roll his spiritual root attributes and innate talents. But instead of using his powers to immediately become overpowered, Hanzu decides to keep a low profile and cultivate in secret. The artwork is top-notch, and the author does the great job of balancing intense action with moments of clever comedy. If you are a fan of cultivation stories that thinks outside the box, Top tier Providence, Secretly Cultivator is an absolute must-read.
The constellations are my disciples. 300 years ago, a legendary warrior named Hyuno Kim saved the world by taking down the Tower of the End. But instead of dying, he's reborn 300 years later in the body of a 17-year-old boy named 𝘽𝙚. Now 𝘽𝙚 has discovered the constellations who were once his disciples have been born in the time he was gone. His mission? To find them all and train them up to be the ultimate powerhouse team. It's a pure fantasy all the way, with an arrogant but entertaining MC and a unique premise. If you're a fan of OP protagonists flexing their insane abilities, The Constellations Are My Disciples is worth checking out.
Reality Quest. Our MC, 𝘽𝙚 𝙎𝙮, a gamer who is constantly bullied into grinding for rare in-game items. When one bully demands an impossible item or else, 𝙬𝙗 games non-stop for a week until he literally drops dead. But wait, there is more. 𝙬𝙗 respawns back in time with all his gaming skills now usable in real life. It's like he's living in a video game. With his new abilities and a system that gives him tags to unlock even more perks, 𝙬𝙗 is ready to take on his bullies. But be careful, failing a task can have brutal consequences, like losing his balls. Get ready for a hilarious and action-packed manhwa where a gaming shut-in becomes an OP hero in real life. Will 𝙬𝙗 beat the bullies at their own game? Find out in Reality Quest. The player hides his past. Ever made a cringy character in a game? Well, poor Lee Ho-yeol is living that nightmare. In The Player Hides His Past, the real world gets invaded by monsters from a VR game. Cool, right? But here is the twist. Lee wakes up as a super embarrassing middle school avatar. Imagine fighting monsters while taking like your awkward 13-year-old self. Yikes! It's hilarious watching Lee try to be a hero while battling his own cringy personality. This manhwa takes a tired idea and makes it fresh and funny. With great characters, cool factions, and a perfect balance of humor and action, it's a total page-turner. Don't let the title fool you. This is one gem you don't want to miss.
Regressed life of the Sword Clan's ignoble reincarnator. Ever wanted to see a disgraced warrior claw his way back to greatness? Meet Theo Ragnar, a member of the legendary Ragnar clan, known for their dragon bloodline and icy dominance. After hitting rock bottom, Theo resolves to shatter the chains holding him down and reclaim his rightful place, by any means necessary. With stunning battles, drama, and just the right amount of dark humor, which I love, this manhwa keeps you on your toes. The story balances action and character development as Theo fights his way through rival clans and internal conflicts. And the art? Sometimes breathtaking, sometimes a little too odd, but it all works out to create a unique vibe. If you're into redemption arcs, epic sword fights, and a splash of comedy, this one's a solid pick for 2025.
Alright, that's a wrap on today's manhwa recommendations. If you picked up any of these, let me know which one you are starting first. And hey, if you have any hidden gems or all-time favorites, drop them in the comments so we can all discover something new. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a crazy manhwa drop. Catch you on the next one.